This is the first sign that Patrick learned. And it doesn't mean Grandpa Harold.
Remember when you were playing soccer for the first time? You were on the same team as Mike and Joe. Their father was your coach. You asked to be a goalie, and when all the players started running towards your post, you started to cry. Mr. Dave was yelling at you, stop crying, because he thought you were scared. Instead, you were stung by a bee. They ended up calling at timeout, and Mr. Dave had the entire team take a look at your bee sting. He felt bad once he found out you were hurt, instead of being scared. You sat out 1 quarter, and then you were back in again as goalie. It was 1999, and you were in Adam's bedroom. That was scary. And friends goofing off. I was downstairs, I'm assuming.
Drawing, played on the...
After Exhibit B, neck surgery, and Dad and I heard a noise and crying upstairs. Adam came down yelling for Dad. I don't know exactly what happened, but you ended up banging the back of your head on Adam's chair.
Exhibit C. No.
The back of your head was bleeding, so Adam and Dad ended up taking you to a trip to the emergency room. Can you say emergency?
ER.
Yeah. You ended up with a staple in the back of your head.
One summer, Pop, you and I went to Connecticut to visit Aunt Kathy and Uncle Ed. We were out on the boat, and you were on the tube that looked like a skidoo. You were goofing off and not holding on tight when the boat hit some waves, and you fell off, head first, in the water. You hit the water mouth first and ended up with a sore lip.
Exhibit D.
Shook up, but otherwise you were unharmed. Remember when you were riding your bike and coming down the hill from Kansas? You didn't have brakes. Dad forgot to fix those.
Forgot.
Or too cheap to buy one.
We just had to pedal backwards really fast.
Retirement.
You didn't have brakes, and in order to avoid a car that was traveling fast on Kenora, you swerved and hit a parked car. You ended up with a cracked thumb and a cast on your right hand for 6 weeks. I'll never forget because I had to write your homework for you. The year is 2006 and you were in high school gym class. I was in the hospital with my knee replacement and I received a call from the school nurse saying that you were bleeding from the mouth and I had to come pick you up. Of course, I had to get a hold of Brian or Dad because I couldn't go. And boy, was I glad I could not get you that day. While Dad was on his way, I called the dentist to see if you could get into your oral surgeon. You were on a good friendship. As luck would have it, it ended up the same one you had with your seesaw incident. You were playing basketball and tripped while you were going after a rebound. You hit your mouth on the bleachers, knocking your teeth and braces into your gums. You ended up with stitches in your mouth and lips. That must be for the first stage, you had to eat your food through a straw. Aunt Kathy was coming down to take care of me, and instead ended up with 2 patients. She made you lots of milkshakes. She really took pity on you.
Okay, what's exhibit?
That was E, I think.
That's exhibit E.
What year was that?
2006.
Only a couple years ago.
Just 2 short years ago.
I remember that one.
We are now up to May 2007 when we left you here with Justin and Christina while Dad and I flew to Minnesota for Sarah's graduation. We were driving just outside of Omaha when the school called to say you were bleeding. However, we were out of the cell phone range, so I called on your cell phone and a paramedic answered saying you were in the emergency room. You cut your hand on a metal band while pushing the button at the crosswalk. We should have took your bike. By the time you walked the 2.5 blocks, you were bleeding and in shock, so the school called 911. Out in Baltimore, they probably thought you got shot. I couldn't get a hold of Christina, so I called Judy, who came to the emergency room and stayed with you. I think you just wanted a ride in an ambulance. Thought you might get that in before you graduated.
Same year, November 2007, you called me one day and said, "You're calling from the emergency room." My heart sank once again. And then you said you were okay. And it was Christy. You were there with, apparently, she felt getting out of the Subaru and cut her up arm on the wheel, since you did not have the hubcaps on your tires. A number of months later, Christy fell. I'm assuming Christy's here.
Right here.
Stand up, Christy. Stand up.
Camera. Show the exhibits.
Christy fell on the steps at the house, and that night you once again ended up in the emergency room. Love first sight, right? I must say, since you met Christy, you had transferred your dreams to her.
Notice they were able to build extra floors.
What is that?
Some very good pay for you. This is just a few memories of the 17 years since you became part of our family. I know your brothers have more memories, some funny, some embarrassing, and some sad. We hope that the rest of your life is full and happy memories. Good luck in the future in all your endeavors. We're very proud of you, Mom and Dad.
That's
Same,
X-ray.
same.